Hello student, today I am teaching you how we can connect Java frontend with the MySQL backend. Let's see this image. Here you can see one computer screen in the first part. This computer screen we generally called client, and here we used to create a front end which we also called as a GUI, graphical user interface. The front end can be created with the help of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Java, C++, these type of programming languages. So here we can build the front end which we called GUI. And in the second part of the diagram, you can see backend. Backend is generally a database management system which can be created with SQL. So today I am going to show you how we can connect Java front end with the MySQL backend. Front end is mainly used for two purposes. One is to send the data, and second is for receiving and showing the output data to the user. And backend is used for two purposes, to store the data and to process the data. So today I am going to teach you how Java front end can be connected with MySQL backend. And we name this topic as a JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. So let's start. For the same, you need to go in your web browser and type local host slash php myadmin. I repeat the URL localhost slash php myadmin and press enter button. So it will open MySQL database control panel for you. Here you need to go in database. Here I will create new database for us. So I am going to give the name db underscore prod. This is my database name. DB stands for database, then underscore prod stands for product. So this is the name of my database db underscore prod. It's not necessary to take this name. You can choose the name which you want. Here I have taken DB as a database and underscore prod as a product because I want to create database for the product. Now I will click on create. So this database will get created. Now it will ask me to create a table under the database. Under the database, I need to create a table so I can store my data in that table. So for the same, I am going to give the table name. So I am going to give the table name DBL TBL underscore product. So TBL for table underscore product. This is the name of my table. Again, I want to tell you it's not compulsory to take this name. I have taken TBL as a table and product as a name of my table product. So currently we are having two things. First, DB underscore prod, that is my database. Under that database, I am having a table TBL underscore product. Now my table, in my table, I want 5 columns. So I am written here number of columns 5. Now let me click on go button. Now it is creating a table for me with 5 columns. The first column I want to take is PID, stands for product ID. As you know, generally product ID are integer, so I am taking int. Okay, and let's scroll to the left, and you can see here AI. AI stands for auto increment. I want to apply auto increment to my product ID. It means if I take 5 product, it will automatically take number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is called auto increment. So I will apply product ID as auto increment. So whenever I will take my first product, it will automatically give number 1. When I will take second product, it will automatically give 2. So in this way, this product ID will be auto incremented from 1, 2, 3, 4 onwards. And this is a primary key. For primary key, there are two things required. One, the value should be not null. and second, the values should be unique. So product ID must be not null and unique in order to make it a primary key. Second column I will use after product ID. The second column which I am going to use is product name, that is P name, and here it will be varchar. So data type is varchar because product name is of alphabetic type, and here I can give the length. So for the product ID, for the product name, I am going to give the length of 20. It means product name can be of up to 20 alphabets or character. For the product ID, I will give the size 4. Now third column I want to take is city. City for manufacturing city of that product. So again city will be in varchar format and number of alphabets I want to allow is 20. Now I need to give my fourth column and I will keep it quantity, QTY. QTY stands for product quantity. So quantity will be definitely an integer value and I will give the length 4, means quantity can be up to 4 digit. Next is I want to give price, PRICE price. Now price can be in decimal point. So I would like to take it as a float. Okay. And there is no need to specify length for it. So currently I have taken a 5 column. Product ID, that is a PID, product name, CT, QTY for quantity and price. Product ID and quantity are integer. Product name and CT are varchar2, that will compose of alphabets, that is we call string, and price can be in decimal point, so it is a float. Length suggests how much digit or how many characters the particular column can have, and the primary key of our table is product ID, which will be automatically inserted and automatically incremented. Now we need to click on save button given at the right bottom corner. So now this table under the database dbprod is done. This db underscore prod is the name of database and this tbl underscore product is the name of table. So now our backend is ready. Now I will create a front end and I will send data from my Java front end to my backend. For the same, I am using integrated development environment, popularly known as a IDE, and my IDE is J Creator Pro. So I am opening it. Under this, I will go to the file, new, again file. From here, I will go to Java classes, empty Java classes, next. Here I will give the path. I want to save my project or file on C drive AJP folder. You can choose any folder, any path, no issue. Even you can save in my documents. Now here I will give the name to my program as a product. So I have given a name product and click on finish. So automatically it will take the extension, as you can see, product.java. Now I will paste one program here and I will explain you. This is a program. I will explain you this program now. As you can see, I need to import a SQL package. The long form of SQL is structure query language. So I am importing this SQL package. Then the name of my class is product. You has to make sure that the name of this product and name of your file, that is product.java, should match. Now this is a main function of my Java file, that is public static void main, and this is a try block. As you already know, in Java we need to write down any coding which can generate an exception inside a try block. So here there are lot of chance of generating different type of exceptions. That's why I am using a try block here. Now, establishing a connection with database required a coding of around 7 to 8 steps. So my first step number 1 is loading a driver. So I need to load a SQL driver so I can establish a connection. So for the same, this class is a ready-made class in Java. Dot for name is a ready-made static method in Java. So it is a ready-made class name and it is a ready-made static method. As you know, static method always should be called with the particular class name. And this is MySQL driver com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Here you need to take care of capital and small letters properly. So the first step is called as loading a database driver. Now, once we load the driver, we need to establish a connection with database. So here, this is a step number 2. Step number 2 is all about establishing the connection with database. Establishing the connection with database. So here I will establish a connection with database. So here connection is an interface. Connection is a ready-made interface. Con is an object of that interface equal to driver manager is a ready-made class and get connection is a static method of that class. So get connection method is used to establish the connection with specified database. This is JDBC. I want to establish a connection with MySQL database. This is localhost. This is my port number and the name of my database is db_prod. You already know I have created this database db_prod in MySQL. So this part is called URL. This is my username, that is root, and this part is called as a password. As I have not set any password, I have given it empty. I repeat this line once again for you. Here I am establishing a connection. Here connection is a ready-made interface. Con is an object. Driver manager is a ready-made class. Get connection is a static method of driver manager class which is used to establish the connection. This is URL. Inside this URL, you have to mention a name of your database, and name of my database is db_prod. This is my username and my password is empty. Now let me move to the step number 3. Step number 3 is to write down the query. So I am writing here the MySQL insert statement. So this is a string. This is a str. You can give any name. You can give s, you can give str, you can give msg for message, you can give query, anything. Now my query is insert into. Insert into is a MySQL query. Now here I need to specify name of my table. Name of my table is tbl_product. This table we have already created in previous steps. So insert into. My table name is tbl_product. Now what I want to insert? I want to insert product name. Okay, I want to insert product city. I want to insert quantity and I want to insert price. We can see here these are our table name, column name, product name, city, quantity, price. Product ID I don't have to insert. It is auto incremented. It will be inserted automatically and it will be incremented automatically also. So I need to specify 4 column name: product name, city, quantity, price. Here I am using plus as a concatenation operator. and here I need to send the values. I need to send 4 values. First as a product name, second as a city, third as a quantity, fourth as a price. I will explain this step once again. This is a string. This is my string type of query str. Insert into. I want to insert data in TPL product. This table we have already created. P name for product name, city, then quantity, price. These are the column names of my table. And these are the 4 question marks, means 4 values I want to insert. Those 4 value are nothing but product name, city, quantity, price, and at the last semicolon. Now let me move to step number 4. In step number 4, I want to create statement. Here I am creating the MySQL prepared statement. Prepared statement. Let me tell you something about prepared statement. Prepared statement is very useful when you want to send a parameter. Here I want to send 4 parameters at the runtime: product name, city, quantity, price. So for such a type of thing where you want to send parameters, prepared statement is very suitable. Now what is the meaning of prepared? Prepared means pre-compiled. The query is pre-compiled. The pre-compiled query runs very fast because it is already pre-compiled. So 2 things you need to remember. Whenever you want to send a runtime parameter, as we are sending here 4 runtime parameter, the most suitable option is prepared statement. And second thing is prepared statement means it is already pre-compiled, so we need to just run it, so it will be very fast for us. This type of statements are more suitable when we want to run a query multiple times. So actually this prepared statement is a ready-made interface in SQL. It is a ready-made interface from SQL package. This is the name of statement. This is a connection object which we created in step number 2. And prepare statement is a method which is used to create the statement. And this str is this query. I repeat, this prepared statement is a ready-made interface from SQL package. PS is an object. Con is a connection object created in step number 2. This prepare statement is a method which is used to create the statement. And this str is our query string. Now one point to remember is while writing a name of interface there is a word D, prepared, past tense, but in method there is no D, so you need to take care of this. Now I want to send 4 parameters at runtime. To send this parameter we need to use set method. Now the name of object is PS. So here PS is that object. First value is product name which is of string type. So I need to write down PS dot set string. 1 is a column number. First column number is P name here. And my first product is fan. Second column is city. It is also string. So again I need to write down PS dot set string. So here 2 stands for second number of column, that is city. So manufacturing city of my fan is Delhi. Now third value is a quantity. As we know quantity is an integer. So PS dot set int I capital. 3 stands for column number 3 and 5 stands for I want to order a 5 fan. 5 is a quantity of my fans. Then fourth is price. Price is a float type of value which is in decimal point. So PS dot set float. Here 4 stands for column number 4, that is price, and 1700.5, 0.5 because it is a float, and F stands for float. So last value is of float type. So in this way I have set 4 parameters. First parameter as a fan, second parameter as a Delhi, both are string. So I need to use set string. Third parameter is a integer, set int. Fourth parameter is a float, set float. All need to call with the PS dot. Now step number 5. Once I create the statement, I need to execute the statement, execute the prepared statement. So for the same ps dot execute, execute is a ready-made method and ps is an object of prepared statement. So now this query will execute and these four values will be set, and this four value will be inserted into the backend table. The name of table is TBL product and name of the database is DB product. Now I need to close the connection. This is my step number 6. In step number 6, I need to close the connection. Close the connection. Okay. Now, once the try block complete, we need to write down a catch block immediately after the try block. This is the exception object E. Now, if any exception is generated, then this println will display that exception. E.getMessage will take the message of that exception or error, and that will be displayed. But this catch block executes only if there is an error in the try block, otherwise it won't execute. Then this is a closing bracket of main and this is a closing bracket of class. Now let me execute this program by clicking on this run button. Now as we can see here, process completed, and here also process completed. There is no error message. It means data is successfully transferred to the table. Let's check. So here under this TB product, I am moving to this TBL product, and here we can see a data is inserted. Product ID is automatically 1, product name is fan, city is Delhi, quantity is 5, and this is a price. So data is successfully sent from front end to back end. Let me send some more data. Here now I will give product name as a cooler. Manufacturing city is Bangalore. I need to order 8 coolers and price of one cooler is 6, for example 7,500.5 rupees. Now let's run it again. Again it is successfully completed. Let's check. Let's refresh it. Now we can see first product ID is 1. As it is auto increment, second ID is already automatically 2. Cooler Bangalore 8 and 7,500.5. In this way you can insert as many rows and column as you want. I want third product as a AC. Manufacturing city for example is London, as it may be a foreign brand. I want to take 2 AC and price of 1 AC is 47,500.5. Let me execute it. Again data will go there. I can check from here by refresh. You can see product 123 fan cooler AC Delhi Bangalore London 582, and these are the price. So in this way we have successfully connected our Java front end with the JDBC backend. Stay tuned for more such advanced knowledge from the computer science field. Thank you. I am Atul Bondre, your host of the day. Thank you very much.